Hey, 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 hello, all my babies, my beautiful little babies out there in Radio Land. This is DJ Jack Attack coming at you with Genitally Speaking, a sex positive podcast about fucking and junk. I know that this is not actually Radio Land, it's a podcast, but I am broadcasting currently out of my work, which is at a radio station, so it kind of counts, and I'm going to stick with it. I hope you guys will stick with me. This is going to be a brief summary introduction of what I want my podcast to be, and you guys can decide whether or not you want to sign up for it or not. Metaphorically speaking, obviously, I don't think there's an actual sign up in the immediate future, although if I can figure that out, then it will be soon. So what I want this podcast to be. A few things. Primarily, a place to talk about sex, genitals, sex positivity, anti-slut shaming, all that crazy great liberal crap that if it doesn't sound great to you and sounds like something that's just going to make you roll your eyes and want to try to write me some angry, bitchy messages, then please just do anything better with your time, anything at all. Please just don't. I'm going to disable comments because I'm a sane human being. Yeah, no, none of that. Any rate, I just used sane there, and I'm like, oh, is that a slurry towards the mentally non-sane, insane? It might be. I'm going to have to work on that. I'm going to try to get better about all those kinds of things and more. This is a very, very liberal, very, very PC, very... This is a having lots of respect for the notions of being PC, we will say, place. This is a quote-unquote safe place of sorts is what I'm shooting for. Also, I am shooting for a runtime of approximately 6 to 9 minutes or 69 minutes, depending on the format. Seeing as how this is just an introduction, this particular one will only last 6 to 9 minutes. And when I have guests on, or if I have something that I want to talk about for a lot longer, I will try to push it out to being 69 minutes long. And if I think of another equally sexy number that I can work towards instead, I will. But I love themes, so that's what I'm going to do. I would really like to learn a lot more in doing this podcast because there is a lot, both about fucking and junk and all of life. The junk in the fucking and junk part of this title also includes all of life. So we're not just going to be talking about sex and genitals and literal peenie and vajiji junk. We're gonna also talk about life and love and all the things therein as well. Stuff besides relationships too. That makes it sound like it's just gonna be a lot of that. It'll be other stuff too. Maybe we'll throw in some, I don't know, fucking cars and whatever. We'll even out the sort of gender stereotype spectrum there. I would like to learn more about cars now that I think about it. I'd like to learn a lot more about a lot of things, really. And I would also really like this podcast to be about, for better and for worse, illuminating my listeners to who I am as a person. Whether you already know me or you've never met me before, I would like this to be a way that I can stay in touch with and get to better know people that I already know and who already know me. And or maybe even possibly get to know and make new friends. I'm also probably not going to edit any of these down very much, so they're going to have all those little flubs in there for your listening enjoyment. Sorry, and you're welcome. What else? Well, you're going to get to know a lot about me. I will have maybe another little mini intro like this that gives you a little bit more of the full 411 on me. But my name is Katie Jackson. And I suppose the first thing you should know about me, first and foremost thing you should know about me is I aspire hear me out. This is gonna sound so fuck all, but hear me out. I aspire to be a celebrity, a television celebrity. Really, ideally at this point, a voiceover television celebrity. I would like to have my own television show. Specifically a cartoon now, I think, at this point. I was originally thinking maybe a live action thing, follow in the footsteps of any of the many, many great female sitcom stars in my life that I love. I won't bother naming names. But something like that would have been great. Now I'm thinking, I am a plus size white lady and I'm not aging well as we do. So, maybe the best thing to do is to lean in towards an animated show instead, because I am already a voice actress. So that seems like the new goal. And I'm blathering on about that way too much before I get to the point that it's not just about it being a fun way to make money and a cool thing to do, and or the prestige of celebrity and whatever, and the the debaucherous things therein. We're at the 6-minute mark. I gotta wrap it up in 3 minutes or less. Oh boy. It's about wanting to get that level of rich, specifically. I could do without the fame, honestly, if I can, which might be easier as a voice actress too. But I want that money. I want to get baby Oprah rich is the term that I use for it. So any amount even close to approaching even, or even approaching the kind of dough that Oprah has. Because I, in the first place, first and foremost, want to be a mom, and I want to make the kind of money that you need to make to raise many, many kids. I want to adopt specifically a bunch of boys, because I firmly believe that the world in particular needs more good men in it, and I want to raise them. And I need a lot of money to do that. I live in Mountain View, California. I've lived there all my life, and I love it, and I don't like change, and I don't like the idea of moving. But the Bay Area is easily one of, if not the most expensive places to live in California, the country, the world. I don't have my facts and figures on that, but I can just tell you, I still live with my parents for a reason. For many reasons, some of them money and others. Any rate, so this podcast and many of other endeavors that I have lined up for me in the future, and hopefully the near future, are ultimately pushing towards that goal. So, any rate, I have to wrap this up in a minute. If you like this podcast, the sounds of it, please stick with it, and please pass it along to your friends and whomever, and help me make that goal a reality. I would love that. I love you very much, and I will see you guys next time. Hopefully this will get a little better, but absolutely no promises. So if you're not into it, totally fair enough. Okay, bye.